All right, welcome to another video from the chart readers. So we are going to continue our review of the major markets. I went a little in depth on the NASDAQ video, so I strongly recommend you watching that. I'm going to do a little more of a quick review because honestly, just looking at it, I haven't really started the analysis in all honesty, but this SP 500 chart looks almost identical to the NASDAQ daily chart. So there's just literally a few exact things that I see. So yeah, the one thing I don't actually have is a death line colored. I will figure out what the line is. I'll be honest with you, I care more about the NASDAQ than the others because I do like trading in a lot of the NASDAQ tickers, right? So I like tech, I like energy. I do like, a lot of those that actually move, just in my opinion, quicker, right? That said, you need to know what the SP 500 and the Dow Jones are doing. You have to, right? Even if you are 1000% viewed on tech and that's where all your money is, I promise you, this is literally a personal story. I lost money last year because I was focused on one market and didn't see the loss of correlation on the others. So you need to make sure the three are doing the exact same thing. Otherwise, if one does something first, you really should use that as your trigger for the others. My cat's now playing with the ball behind me, so if there's some sounds, I do apologize. So all that said, let's get into the analysis, right? And look, why I did mention it's almost an identical chart to the NASDAQ. What we had, I'm going to go back basically a few days, right? We had a really nice run right here, right? Because look at how many days we were trading under the 8, just so many days, right? And it made a good run to try to break. Don't do this right now. I'm making a good video. Okay, good. Sorry, people. So it made a good run to break the 8, break my horizontal line, break a cluster right here, literally on the exact same, that's a hard cluster, the 50 and the 100 right there. Got all the way up to the 20 and then just gapped down and failed hard, right? Losing all those lines that it just captured, right? It seems like one of these two is definitely going to be the death line, right? And again, I'll know that once we kind of zoom out a little bit, but it's really the same view on the S&P as the NASDAQ, right? It kind of seems like the lower indicators are saying we might get a good day or two, and in all honesty, we might get a couple of good days, but once we zoom out, I'm sincerely believing it's going to be the exact same chart as the NASDAQ, where we're only fishing for a few good days in what really is ultimately a bad number of weeks and months, right? So zooming out and looking weekly, right? Again, we zoom out weekly because if the week is bad, that means you're going to have a bunch of bad days, right? It's just simple as that. And look, right now we are under the 8 moving average for technically 1, this week was under, 2, 3, this one tried to come back but failed, and then 4 as of last week. It's been a full month under this 8 moving average, right? Rule number 1 is you got to be over the 8. So if you have 4 bad weeks under the 8, you can only expect to have that many bad days, right? And look, we saw that, right? Right? So, there was a real good run up here, and that should be reflected over here, right? This was that good run of the few good weeks, right? And then again, as it fails back. So you literally see that up and down right here in just a few candles right here, right? So again, zoom out to be able to know what to do when you zoom in. But where are we at? Look, we're not in a good place, right? We lost the 20 3 weeks ago, right? This is last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We tried to recapture it. Obviously, we were really hoping to get over the 8, right? But then no. We lose it again, and look, at this point, technically the red is, look, I see red over green. I obviously like the RSI over the MACD if you watch these videos often, so, I'm expecting bad weeks, right? Even zooming out a little more, let's see what the monthly looks like. Oh man, look, again, the monthly looks horrible, and again, just like the NASDAQ, look at all these months under the 8. This one was actually over the 8, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months under the 8, right? If you're doing that, you should have an idea of what to do with your money, right? If your monthly is bad, your weekly will be bad, which means your daily will be bad, right? So And hey, look, you can see the good months when they sneak in, right? But again, it's more about long term with the majors than it is with the stocks. Because again, that's how I trade, right? I day swing stocks, but I'm very, very aware of the long term importance of the markets, right? So I'm hoping that the DJ30 looks exactly the same. And when I say hoping, right, it's not that I'm hoping that everything is horrible, right? I don't short stocks, but yeah, they're all doing that exact same thing, right? They all had that good run up. They all failed at the 20. They all came down on the daily. On the weekly, should be the same thing, and it is, right? Again, a number of weeks under. This one, oh man, did it get over the 20? Okay, so if you see it, it did get over the 20 by like literally $14, $15, right? But nonetheless, it fails the week after, right? So almost identical on the daily, on the weekly. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one looks, we'll call it 8 months, a little closer to NASDAQ than the S&P. But again, it's yeah, it is. You can see the little gap. It was above it, right? But these 8 all right here have been under the 8, right? So yeah, a lot of correlation to the NASDAQ video. If you watch the NASDAQ video, I go a little bit more in depth. But again, it's bad news, obviously, but I like that the three are doing the same thing, right? For me, correlation is really important because it makes me know that, hey, my strategy should be okay. And look, I'm not here to ring any sort of like doomsday bell. I am going to at least show the NASDAQ number just to... So when I look it up, I have to put CompQX. It's different tickers on different things, right? But my doomsday bell is this, at least for the NASDAQ, and I'll do the same thing for those other two, right? But once we cross this red line, that's my doomsday bell. So, hey, I hope you're learning. I really do. Look, technical analysis is really important, and this is what changes your game. I'll tell you just from personal experience. So, again, this is not financial advice, but hey, if you're learning, hopefully you're doing well with that knowledge too, right? Put that shit to use. So, hey, have a great one. Enjoy the weekend.